So here's our problem. A, B, C, D, and E line up for a photo, as we see here, and then the photographer says she wants to take a second picture. For the second picture, everyone can stay where they were or trade places with the person next to them. How many second pictures are possible? One way of solving this problem through a systematic list is with a tree diagram. First, let's ask who could be first in line on the second picture. Well, it could be A, or A and B could have switched, and it could be B, could be first. If A is first, then who could come after A? Well, B could have stayed where she was, or B and C could have switched. If it's A and B, then who could come next? Well, C could come next, or C and D could have switched. And then if it's A, B, C, D could come next, or D and E could have switched. And of course, if it's A, B, C, D, then E has to be next. And on the line below it, if it's A, B, C, E, then there has to be D. Now let's go back to A, B, D. If it was A, B, D, then that means that D and C switched. So C has to come next. And now, of course, E has to be last. Now suppose A, B and C switch. So it starts off A and C. Well, since B and C switched, B has to come next. And after the B, well, it could be D, or D and E could have switched, and it could be E. Then after the D, it has to be E. After the E, it has to be D. Now suppose A and B switched, so that the first person in line is B. Well, then that means the second person has to be A. After the A, well, it could be C or D, if C and D switched. If it's B, A, C, then after the C could come D, or it could be E if D and E switched. And then after this D, there has to be an E, and after this E, there has to be a D. Finally, if it started off B, A, D, well, that's because C and D switched, so C has to come next, followed by E. And so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways. And if we want to write them all, the ones in order, we just follow all the branches of the tree. So the top branch is just A, B, C, D, E. And on the other hand, if we follow this branch, it's A, C, B, D, E. So if we want to write them all down, we would just follow each branch of the tree. But we can see by the ends that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we should know that we found them all, because at each stage we looked at both possibilities, if there were two possibilities. When we came to this B, we said, okay, after the B, it could be the C, or the C and D could have switched. On the other hand, after this C, that C got there because B and C switched, so it had to be B. So we get 8 ways.